Back to work today at the Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California. Hi, everybody. It's Inside Cowboys training camp. Brad, Sham, Mickey Spagnola. And as we mentioned, yesterday was the day off. Back to the regular Groundhog Day activity today with a walk through this morning and practice this afternoon. But we told you yesterday that the Cowboys had their annual media party in Malibu last night, and there was a pretty good chance that there would be some conversation coming out of that about all the contracts that are signed or waiting or somewhere in between. And by golly, the party didn't disappoint.
No, it certainly didn't. It kind of got out that Cowboys COO Stephen Jones said that we've made generous offers to those three guys that are still trying to get contracts done. And then a story came out again that Zeke is willing to sit out the entire season if he doesn't get the offer he gets.
According to his agent.
According to his agent. And when Stephen did interviews with the radio stations this morning, when he was asked about that, he said, news to us doesn't change anything. So it's not like I'm getting threatened and I've got to do something. He also said that he could easily get out of here, meaning end of training camp, without getting any of those three contracts done, and then they would work on them when they get back. He called this whole thing a distribution dilemma, meaning we've got three guys we want to sign now, but we also got guys down the road that we would like to re-sign. He mentioned Xavier Woods, Malik Collins, Byron Jones, L.C. Collins. So they have a bunch of guys that are coming up next year, so you can't do everything and spend all your money this year.
The other part of yesterday that made news was the release of fourth-year tight end Rico Gathers, and here's what Jason Garrett had to say about that this morning.
You know, it was a sixth-round pick, a guy who hadn't played football in a number of years. Very good basketball player, very good rebounder. There was some things to like about him physically, and he worked hard. But I think at the end of the day, his inexperience ultimately was the issue with him. It was hard for him to play the way you need to play in and play out, play with the instincts necessary, the temperament necessary to play. So into year 4 now, and ultimately he didn't show the growth that we wanted. And maybe if he goes somewhere else, he'll learn from this experience and take advantage of it. But I just felt like that was the best for our team.
Some people wanted to make the release of Rico Gathers a little more complicated, but I think Jason kind of explained it pretty well.
Yeah, no, he really did. And when it comes down to this is, he's been there 3 years, and he hasn't shown any progress being made. You got to have production, not just potential.
Now, speaking of production, this week is about the opportunity to get ready for a preseason game and for some young players to try to make this team. We're going to talk to one of them when we come back on Inside Cowboys Training Camp.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. And by Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. This segment is brought to you by Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store.
Welcome back to Inside Cowboys Training Camp in Oxnard, California. Brad, Sham, Mickey Spagnola. If you can put aside all the contract talk for a moment, the Cowboys are going to play a preseason game Saturday night. They're going to Santa Clara, California to play the 49ers. And for players on both teams, the young players, sometimes this is the beginning of a dream. This is the opportunity to do something they've thought about all their life. And the Cowboys have a number of those young players you may not know much about, but you might want to learn. One of them is rookie free agent linebacker Luke Gifford. He wears number 57. He was a free agent signee from Nebraska. He had a couple of hip surgeries when he was in college. He played outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense, and he was a high school quarterback. He had plenty of offers, so what does Luke Gifford think the Cowboys saw in him?
I think I showed the ability to cover at times when I was allowed to. I think the way I played sideline to sideline and I could cover. I think that's what you want in a middle linebacker, someone that plays inside, plays physical, plays with passion, and gets sideline to sideline. So I think that's probably what they saw.
And why was Dallas the right fit for you, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think Dallas has done a lot of good things with undrafted free agents in the past. So that was definitely part of my decision. And then, I thought there was a good opportunity here. Great coaching staff, and then an already really good defense, good guys to learn from and all that. So it was really a no-brainer for me. One
of the first days that they went into a team period and a walkthrough in special teams, I think it might have been the first time they did it in camp, Chris Covington, the second-year linebacker, had a hamstring injury. You looked up and noticed that Luke Gifford was running first string with the punt team. That's a tip-off,
right?
Because they only put people on the punt team who they think are going to be on the team when the regular season starts. That meant Gifford had a chance, and in the last 10 days, he's done nothing to disappoint.
And now he's progressed, and now he was on the first kickoff team too, so go down on kickoff coverage. And those guys, if they're going to make the team, no matter what these young guys' position they play, you got to be playing special teams if you're going to find a spot on the 53.
And that linebacker position usually contributes to special teams, but a couple of years ago, that's not the way it was constituted, had veteran players. I'm not sure that Ben Bloom's unit is not the best it's been in many, many years for the Cowboys in this camp.
They've got some depth there now, right? If you look at Cuero, also with Covington, you mentioned him, Gifford. So, yeah, it's like the linebacker position's almost like defensive line, almost like wide receiver. They've got more guys than they can fit on a 53-man roster, at least now. The things what will separate is when they start playing these preseason games.
And that's why these things are so valuable. You cannot simulate special teams in training camp, and you can't simulate the opportunity for players like Luke Gifford to get into game action. More from Oxnard when we continue on Inside Cowboys Training Camp.
This segment was brought to you by Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store.
Welcome back to Oxnard. It's Inside Cowboys Training Camp. Brad Sham, Mickey Spagnola. Practice today, practice tomorrow, practice Thursday morning, and then on Friday the Cowboys will fly up to Santa Clara to play the 49ers Saturday evening. We mentioned the linebackers a moment ago. Chris Covington, second-year linebacker, very much in contention to make this team, was not in practice today because he just became a dad. He left right after the scrimmage. Congratulations to Chris, and congratulations to his family. He'll be back in practice tomorrow, but while he was not on the practice field today, there were one or two players who did return.
Yeah, and it was good to see number 19 back out there. Amari Cooper missed the last couple days. He's had a heel injury. I don't know if it was an injury or he just kind of nicked it up, but he finally got back today, so that was a good sign. They were going to send him to get a scan and see just what was up, so they must have liked what they didn't see in the scan. So, yeah, Amari Cooper needs to be on that field for the Cowboys for sure.
And it might not be till Thursday before Jason Garrett gives the public and us any kind of inkling about who will play Saturday night against the 49ers. So we don't know if the first offensive line will, but it sure has been good to see Travis Frederick playing again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when I spoke to him today, the thing he kept saying, he kept referring to the word normal. And normal's really good for him. He feels normal again after going through what he went through last year, missing the entire season. So he feels like every day in practice it's starting to get a little easier. Started off rusty. We could see that. But every day he's gotten better and better.
Cowboys had some depth problems at cornerback. They've signed Tyvis Powell from Ohio State. Chris Richard had worked with him previously. And there'll probably be a couple more signings announced for tomorrow. Mickey and I will tell you about that when we come back to Oxnard tomorrow evening on Inside Cowboys Training Camp.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, was brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. And by the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. Want to tour AT&T Stadium? For more information, call 817-892-TOUR or visit attstadium.com/tours.